All right, let's talk about Ja Morant. If you missed this story over the weekend, it's pretty simple. They played in Denver, lost to the Nuggets. The Memphis Grizzlies are, they're second best team, at least record-wise, in the West. They lose a game against Joker and company, and then Ja Morant, and I don't know who these people were, okay, on this video. I seen it. I saw it numerous times. I have no idea where all these people came from, if this is a traveling party, but they are at a bar in Denver or outside of Denver, and he is on IG Live, and he banishes a gun, okay? It's facts. Now, he's been basically suspended, and now the team is saying we're not sure when he's going to be back as this investigation goes on. The latest with this is, Mike, before we get into what the hell is going on with Ja, is that the Glendale Police Department is investigating whether he broke any gun laws.
Can't be under the influence and have a weapon on you in the state of Colorado. NBA rules also say can't bring a weapon on a team premises or in travel for the team, in other words, team plane. So I'd want you to be checking that back. But anyway, Carl, the idea is, although I'm not sure because, with the protocols, you do travel separately than the regular passenger. You're not going to a TSA line. There is a security line.
Sure.
But there's NBA rules, but the first things first, there's the Colorado state law.
Yeah, so they're investigating that aspect of it. And in the video, the live stream by Ja Morant, it's not clear whether he was intoxicated, okay? But others are shown drinking in the video. So the bigger thing here is, Mike, what is he trying to do? What is he trying to prove? Who's he trying to prove it to? We've had now, this is the third incident, okay? None of this has resulted in an arrest. The young man they beat up at his house, the 17-year-old, where the police report is out there, and Ja came back out after he threw the ball at him, and then they beat him up, and then he came back out with a gun and pointed at the kid's face. That is out there. No arrest. You've got the incident with the Pacers at the arena where somebody pointed a laser at the Pacers, one of his guys in his crew or somebody that knew him, one of his best friends, who was then said, hey, you can't come back to the arena. There was a laser pointed at the bus, and various Indiana Pacer players verified this. And now you have this. So what is going on with one of the young, up-and-coming stars in the NBA? Is he trying to be a gangster?
Well, that's just it. I mean, first off, we talked about it. Unless it's a friend of one of your friends, why you got an underage kid technically on your property playing basketball in a pickup game, which then he initiated by apparently said he was going to come back and basically shoot up the place. That's how it was reported. Which then Ja Morant goes and brandishes the weapon. I don't know. Some guys. Now I know I grew up in back country South Carolina. I don't know his upbringing. I'm not going to go there. I know that some guys, as we said, Mike Vick, you got your guys. You're going to stay loyal to the guys you grew up with, this and that. At some point, you've got to, kind of disengage from the people that are dragging you down and get on with your life. Or if this guy just wants to be portrayed as a gangster and he wants to have a weapon on him. I don't know. Like, why did Plaxico Burress have to have the weapon in the club, which, by the way, is illegal in New York when he shot himself?
Yeah.
It's just dumb. But this is a guy, you're talking about, the NBA will be throwing Brinks trucks at you from now until you can't do this anymore. So why would you jeopardize all that with this?
Yeah, I was talking to some people around the league about it this weekend because I talked a lot about it on the national show, Mike. And part of this is most people in the league don't think Ja's a bad guy. Okay? And I say that when I say most, I'm talking about the people who really know him. He's not a bad guy. This is not who he is. Okay? He's really a good kid.
So why is he projecting this?
Okay. So when you start to be challenged or you feel like your manhood is being challenged, and by the way, I'm not going to make any excuses. He made these decisions. He's going to have to pay the price, whatever the NBA ultimately comes down, whatever this investigation results in. But Mike, first, we kind of forget how young these guys are. Trey got here, he was 19. We forget how young these guys are when they get into the league. And part of this is, and I'm not saying this again to make an excuse, but these are young people. These are not full-grown men. And they're expected to make full-grown men decisions. This is why, Mike, you need veterans in your locker room. Guys who can say, hey, that's not a good idea. What you doing tonight? Where you going? Let me help lead you and show you. So many guys in the NBA will tell you, hey, I really have an appreciation for this person because he looked out for me or he showed me the way. Memphis is one of the youngest teams in the league. Who's showing anybody the way on that team? And I think with Ja, if he's doing these kind of things and it's being okayed, it's kind of just, well, that's Ja. He can do whatever he wants. Mike, that can't be the situation. And I think this is one of those deals where you probably, it's not the first time, I'm guessing, guys, probably brought his weapon on the plane before.
Yeah, I mean, like I never understood why Gilbert Arenas decided to have a gun show in the locker room when he was playing with the Wizards, and that was, he was like 6 years in the league when he pulled that move. I mean, like we're gun owners. We're not trying to get and tick off people to get all high and mighty on the Second Amendment, but this is just asinine for a guy whose career, especially with the gun violence situation we have with African American males in this country, gun violence on the campuses of schools, gun violence every freaking weekend. And this guy's going to go out there and act like it's the Wild West. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't get it. He needs somebody in his life to go. But as we've learned from the NBA to the MLB, NFL, Hollywood movie stars, music business, Emperor has no clothes. Nobody in his circle is going to tell him what he doesn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's why I think things get to these kind of situations.